Hey friends, welcome back to the Destination Baby and Kids YouTube channel. Happy 2026, this is Gina. If you haven't yet, go ahead and like this video. You can share it with someone if it makes sense. Feel free to hit the subscribe button if you want. But what are we talking about today? We are going to be going over some installation information for the fabulous car seat you see right there. That is the NUNA RAVA Next. So this is not a video for the original RAVA. This is for the newest version, the RAVA Next. And so this is my inner law school dropout wanting to make sure that you understand that this video is not meant to supplement or be the end-all be-all of instructions. This is just tips and tricks. Nothing will substitute from reading your vehicle manual and the car seat's instruction manual as well. So again, that is your responsibility to do. But again, if you have questions or are concerned or want to see a visual aid to go along with that, this is the perfect video for you to watch. We will be covering forward-facing and rear-facing installation for a seatbelt or lower anchors. So get ready, stay tuned, be excited. We're going to learn a whole bunch today, and I'm so glad to have you back here in the new year. Let's launch right in. Hey friends, welcome back. I am Gina, your host, and I'm here with you to go over how to install this NUNA RAVA Next in a forward-facing mode with lower anchors, okay? So typically with forward-facing car seats in most cars, you are generally doing a seatbelt installation at this point. But for instance, this week I had a gal with inflatable seatbelts in her Ford Explorer. So we had to do the installation for her car seat with the lower anchors. Again, you need to read on your car seat the weight limit for those lower anchor components. So like on this seat, this RAVA Next, our lower anchors for forward facing can only be used, and you know what? It's actually going to be written on the side of the seat. We would only use lower anchors for a child that weighs under 40 pounds, okay? So how big and tall is the kiddo that I'm talking about here? Let's say they are 3 years old. Let's say 3.5. 3.5, and they are 36 inches tall, and they are 32 pounds heavy, okay? We would be able to use lower anchors with this type of installation, and maybe that's your preferred method in the position that it is in your car, okay? I'll grant you all that. So we will show you how to do a lower anchor forward-facing installation on this seat. Now again, my inner law school dropout would remind you, this is not the video that's the end-all be-all. You absolutely need to read your vehicle manual. You need to read the car seat manual. I am just showing this so that you guys at home have a better visual aid of how to do that in case you need a little more help with your installation. We're just going to zoom in a little bit here. Okay. So we've got our seat. Let's talk about how we're going to go ahead and prepare it prior to installing it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is press. There's a squeeze handle above the word NUNA. I'm going to raise this headrest up to its tallest position just to give myself a little bit of space to work. Another thing that I might do is press the harness release tab in between the kiddo's legs and pull this harness forwards just so that I've got a lot of space to be able to move that out of the way. I'm going to take out the infant headpiece because again, our kiddo is 32 pounds and 34 inches or whatever I said. So we're going to take that out, and then we're going to go ahead, unbuckle and undo our different parts of the 5-point harness. So the chest clip and the crotch piece, we've unbuckled all of that. We're going to take out the infant insert because we're not using this ever in a forward-facing mode. It would be exclusively rear-facing between 5 and 11 pounds. The next thing I'm going to do is take out this crotch pad. There's a little snap on it. That'll remove it. We are not going to throw it away. We're going to keep it close at hand because at the end, we're going to have to put it back in. It states very clearly in the manual, we always use the shoulder belt pieces and the crotch pad for our kiddo. So let's go ahead and take out the infant padding. We took out that infant headpiece too. Now, additionally, in this seat, we have side impact pads. Do we take those out? Well, no. In this case, we're not going to because the kiddo in question is under 43 standing inches and under 40 pounds. The seat instruction manual clearly indicates, and it says right on here, that you must use the insert for a kiddo up to 40 pounds and 43 inches tall. So since our 3.5-year-old that we're going to be putting in here forward facing is under that criteria, we're absolutely going to leave those in when we install this car seat. Now the next thing that we're going to do is unsnap the material and pull, and actually you unsnap the top part of the side impact pads too, because this will enable you to pull this entire set of material forward and access what they call the true tension door, okay? In a forward-facing mode, we're gonna open the true tension door in the red, but in order to find our lower anchors, they're actually hiding in the blue true tension door. So there's a red door and a blue door. I'm gonna open up, let me get this out of the way, that little magnet. I'm gonna open up the blue door and pull out my lower anchor strap belt, okay? So I've pulled that out. I'm gonna throw that over to the side. It's fully attached, so it's not gonna go anywhere. And then I'm gonna close that blue door because we're not worried about that anymore. What I am worried about is the red door, which is right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up my door with the red button. And if you look on the side of the seat, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the seat sideways for the viewing audience. If you look on the side of the seat, there is a little blue thing with the seatbelt, and then there's this little, where my fingers are, there's a piece here that is red seatbelt, okay? The red path is the path that we're going to use for forward facing. Additionally, on the side of the seat, we have a red window that says 1, 2, 3, 4. If I pull this seat a little bit forward, I'm gonna be able to adjust the recline. 4 is our most reclined. There's 3, 2, and 1. Let's pick position 3 just because it's sort of in the center. Now, another step that people tend to miss with a forward-facing installation, which is super critical, it's in the book, you absolutely have to do this step, is we're gonna hook up our top tether, okay? So on the back of our car seat, there's this little guy right here. Let me show y'all. There's also ventilation on the back, which is great. My nephews were always sweating. I'm gonna undo that. This strap got long. I'm gonna pull the plastic piece down, and I'm gonna unhook this top tether, okay? This is a super critical step. Please do not skip this step. It says everywhere in the manual 8,000 times you need to use your top tether when you're doing a forward-facing installation. The language is top tether must be used, okay? So we'll turn our seat back around. We'll get our top tether. We don't want it twisted. We want to keep it straight. And in the back part of your car, there will be like a little anchor symbol of where this hooks up. And interestingly, top tethers have been required in cars since, like, the hookup for it has been required in cars since 1999. If you have a truck, it may be more challenging to find it. It could be a loop or some type of atypical tether piece. Again, that's going to be in your vehicle manual. If you don't have your vehicle manual, you can contact the brand of the car to get that information, but it's critical that you hook it up to the correct spot because sometimes we think it goes to like a luggage hook, and that's not the same as the top tether hook, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and hook up my top tether. I'm not gonna worry about tightening it like crazy until the very, very end, but I've tightened it a little bit. So now my car seat, I'm gonna gently push toward the vehicle seat back. So that guy's back there. Now, these lower anchors on this anchor belt are adjustable. There's a gray button on it. That's gonna loosen it, and then if you pull it, it'll tighten it. I feel like a stewardess showing you guys this, but very, very easy to use. We will go ahead and hook up by running it through that red window that I showed you before on either side, and have our lower anchor with the thick side up. We never want the skinny side up. It is marked directly on there. You want your thick side up. We're gonna hit that to our lower anchor. I'm gonna go ahead, run it through the interior of the seat. We're not gonna come around the outside. We're gonna stay on the interior. And remember, we opened up that red window. There is a red line in there that shows us exactly where it needs to go. So I'm mirroring where it is on the inside there. I'm gonna hook up my other lower anchor. You can hear it click. I always tug on lower anchors just to make sure, even though I heard it click, just for my own psychotic safety, I like to pull on them to make sure that they're correctly done. And then what I'm gonna do here is take this strap and pull on it to tighten this up. Now, I've had people in the past say, I'm pulling and it's just not getting tight. You don't wanna pull it away from the seat. You actually wanna pull it in the direction of the seat. And a good little tip is that sometimes you can even feed it back through to really get some good leverage to pull this guy in. Now, a million years ago, we'd say, kneel on the car seat. You don't want to do that. I am leaning on it a little bit just to make sure I'm getting it nice and tight. But I've got that pulled through. I'm going to sort of straighten and align the seat. And then I'm going to close that true tension door. Now, it's hard to close the door because I've got that belt pulled so tightly. So it's not closing. I'm going to loosen it just a hair, because I don't want to break anything on the seat. And now, whoop, still not closing. Let's see if we can't get it to close. There we go. Third time's the charm, right? So it closed. It made a very distinctive clicking sound, but just to be safe, I'm gonna pull on that seat. It's not moving left, right. It's not moving side to side at all. So that's awesome. And then again, I'm gonna come to the back, and remember how I thought this was nice and tight before? You can hear it rattling around. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten that up. And then the cool thing is, there was that little cover for this. I'm gonna go ahead and reattach that so that we don't have additional belt swinging around. Why this is important is that I would dread to think if that kind of piece ever got caught around a wheel well. Again, in this scenario, here in the store, it's never gonna do that. But in your own car, NUNA provides this little pad. I would reattach it to keep everything nice and neat so that there isn't additional stuff hanging around or other kids tempted to pull on it or play with it. It's just not a good idea. So if you can go ahead and redo that, I would encourage you to do that. Now at this point, let's turn the seat forward. And on the front of the seat, there's a little leg extension underneath. I'm gonna pull that out because in the manual, it shows that we wanna use that. It will give kiddo more leg support as well, so it's probably more comfortable for them. And then we're gonna go ahead and put our material back the way that it needs to go, very deliberately. Now, there is a 2-buckle crotch belt position on this seat. When we are using the side impact pads, we will always use it in the closer of the 2 positions. So again, because we were talking about that 3-year-old that is the 34 inches and 32 pounds, we're still using the side impact pads, so we wanna make sure to always use this crotch belt buckle in the closer of the 2 positions versus the one that's further out if we're using it with the side impact pads. I'm gonna pull my harness through to make sure that it's sitting correctly in relationship to those side impact pieces. There are snaps on the back of this material. I'm gonna go ahead and snap it that way just to make sure it's correct. And then now I'm gonna lower this at or just above kiddo's shoulders, okay? So if their shoulders are here, I would get maybe a little bit closer. Would I go underneath their shoulders? No, I would not. In a forward-facing car seat, we want it at or just slightly above their shoulder. So it's nice and tight. If there's any kind of accident, they're not shifting around in the seat. Now, are we finished? No, we are not. We want to make sure to put that crotch belt piece back on that we talked about at the beginning. I always remind parents that this is a nice piece to have for cleanliness, but also in an accident, it's going to prevent bruising. So really, really critical to put it back on. It'll snap back on nicely so it stays in place. And then just because I'm crazy, psychotic, I am going to always re-hook up my harness, go ahead and put my finger there, give it a tug to make sure it's tightening correctly. And then if I want to loosen it, I'll press and pull that forward, okay? So we don't need to press the button to tighten, just to loosen. Additionally, on the seat, there are 2 cup holders, one on either side. These cup holders are cool for this year because they've made them larger, but something to be aware of is we never want to use glass in these cup holders, and we don't want to use any metal. Again, in the manual, so we're going to follow that manual very, very clearly. Another thing that's exciting about this seat for this year is that it has the side impact pods or wings on either side of the seat. You would never use both open simultaneously. You only use whichever side is closest to the door that it's near. So in this case, if the left side, this would be for behind the driver. And then if it's on the passenger side installed, we would open it up so that it's installed on the and open toward the passenger door. We don't have both open. Both is not doubly safe. It really specifically states in the manual only to open the side that's closest to the door. And that being said, if this were installed in the center, we would have neither open, okay? So hopefully that helps clear up some installation questions about the seat. Oh, one more thing. Once the seat is installed, it will read specifically in the manual on page 38 that the recline is no longer adjustable while it's installed. Meaning if you want to adjust the recline, you will need to uninstall the seat and then adjust the recline and then reinstall the seat. So this is not a seat with adjustable recline on the fly with kiddo sitting in it. It's a very, very common misunderstanding about the seat. So we just want to make sure that we point that out because it's definitely in there in the manual that the recline is not adjustable once it's installed. Okay, hopefully that's helpful for you guys. Remember, this doesn't substitute reading the manual for your vehicle and reading the manual for the car seat, but hopefully it helps make it a little clearer with how to install the RAVA Next in a forward-facing mode with lower anchors. And remember, you can only do that lower anchor forward-facing installation through 40 pounds, even though the seat will hold up to 65 pounds. Past 40 pounds, we would need to install with a seatbelt, which is the next video that you can check out that we're making right now.